Welcome to WTSS Season 7, race number 11. We're at the Nazareth Speedway in Pennsylvania. This 0.946 mile short track doesn't feel like a short track when you look at it at first glance, but it sure races like one. You have to have the right skill set to be able to master this place, and you can't just treat it like a fast place oval like Iowa Speedway. Every single corner on this racetrack has a different profile to it and a different speed you need to take to master this track. In qualifying, it was Logan Hill who managed to put it on the top in the last 2 minutes of qualifying, and Season 2 champion Hu Ji-yeon puts it on the front row with him. 125 laps around this track that's just under a mile. Can any of the 5 drivers directly behind Sean Angel challenge his point lead? He's going to have a lot of ground to make up, starting back in the 31st position. But enough of the pre-race banter. It's time for 125 laps around one of the fastest, most unforgiving short tracks in the entire country at Nazareth. Let's get to the race. The pace car has pulled in. Logan Hill will lead us to the green alongside Season 2 champ Hu Ji-yeon. 125 laps. We're green at Nazareth. And immediately through the first kink at the end of the front straightaway, Logan Hill pulls out in front to clear Hu Ji-yeon into turn number 1. Alex Constantine underneath. You gotta make these moves fast on the start while the tires are fresh, because the longer these tires go into their rhythm, the harder it is to initiate a pass. Constantine takes second place. Shrimp Engritz diving underneath Cale Teskar Jr. with a late move into turn 3, makes it look easy on the exit.
Yeah, the inside is very, very good on this track. You're gonna want to be down there as much as you can.
You do not want to get caught out by a late lunge from the car behind you, as we saw just there. As we see multiple battles of side-by-side through the whole field, but I don't see any 3 wide being initiated by any of these drivers. That's where you're going to start to see trouble, is when people start making 3 wide moves. Hu Ji-yeon is looking aggressive. She must have gotten a bad start, or maybe just did not have the reaction time she needed, but she's looking like she's trying to chase back down the top 2 cars. And Shrimp Engritz making his presence known up in the 4th position as the top 4 start to break away from Teskar and Ryan Bolden. You wouldn't know it based off of his results throughout all the short tracks this season and the stats, the laps led, the fastest laps. But this is the best qualifying of the season for Alex Constantine, putting it in the 3rd position. He's chasing down Logan Hill for the lead, and I would say he's going to have a shot at the lead within the next lap or 2.
You're kind of bubbled there.
Maybe if Hu Ji-yeon has something to say about it, though, he might not. Up the racetrack, she goes on the exit of turn 2, though, and almost goes up into the outside wall. Big lunge from Shrimp Engritz. You got to be able to complete that lunge. You got to be able to force the car on the outside to have to run up the racetrack a bit. Otherwise, you just lose so much momentum by making a lunge from that far back without doing anything. Oh man, Ji-yeon's car looks really tight as Constantine peaks low on Logan Hill for the lead through turn 1.
We had the overlap, but couldn't stick it on the inside.
No, but he's got the line to try and arc it into the corner. He can't do it, but look at Engritz. He learned from the previous lap. He got alongside Hu Ji-yeon. Constantine down the front straightaway, inside, into that first kink.
Still can't keep it.
Wow. Aggressive driving from Constantine and aggressive defending from Logan Hill has managed to keep him the lead for now. The top 5 have now started to pull away from a struggling Ryan Bolden, who had his best qualifying of the season earlier tonight. Yuki Tamura looking down the inside on Chris Dodd for the 7th position. Dodd trying to fight back. She nosed ahead at start-finish. Dodd got the runoff through the front straightaway, but no grip on the outside of the exit at turn 2 and up into 7th place for the 60 car. That's your highest running of the Roush Racing Enterprises campus cars. The only one in the top 10, surprisingly, as Constantine goes again on Logan Hill.
Cannot make that inside stick in the corner.
I think that Constantine is getting a little too eager. The only spot on this track where the inside lane is not the preferred line are those kinks down the front straightaway. The outside car has so much more of an advantage to defend it.
Well, Ingrid's is looking.
Ingrid's is really getting all over the back of that 64. Maybe he's going to try something, see if he can maybe do it better. But no, he's not close enough. As look at Yuki Tamura now, all over the bumper of Ryan Bolden for the 6th position as we enter the 9th lap of this 125-lap endeavor. Fujian back down the inside. Forces it on Shrimp Angrits and takes the spot back. Very aggressive racing throughout our top 10 to start this race. Chris Dodd, he was just running in 7th. He's fallen down to 13th, and it looks like he's not done falling yet. Tough luck for our season opener winner there. And 2nd in points coming into this race as well. Had a shot to take the point lead from Sean Angel with a good enough result. Speaking of Angel, he's up to 27th already. He's made some moves. That is Mitchell Mark, the man who qualified dead last for this race. He got up to 28th. Obviously, we're seeing him losing a couple spots in the middle of the corner, but he's way up from his last place starting position. Now is where you start to get into a rhythm. There's not much tire fall off here at Nazareth. Fresh pavement and all. But there is fall off. It's not that there isn't fall off, it's that there's not much. So you can still over push your tires still, even on a track without much tire wear. Tire heat still matters. I think that's what Hu Jian was doing. I think she overcooked her tires going extremely aggressive on the start. Ooh, she is getting extremely tight on the exit of turn 2. Every single time she tries to follow them really closely through there. And Aiden Shepard's down the inside on Yuki Tamura. Shepard, one of 2 drivers this season without a top 10 to show for at all this season so far. Very uncharacteristically down from the 7th season veteran. Look at Jeff McLennan and Chris Louviere attacking Chris Dodd now. Maverick Motorsports have not had the strongest short track program on the WTSS roster, but they are trying to make the most of it. As Scott Roush, there's the name you'd be looking for on one of these short tracks. Looking down the inside of Louviere already. He's cracked the top 20 already from 32nd.
Yeah, it looks like they were going for race pace, and it is showing pretty quickly. Almost a positional lap right now.
That 6 car looks quick. I obviously know he was caught in a bit of traffic in qualifying, so the position was not necessarily representative of their true pace, but the other cars qualified around that top 15 range, and they're all making forward progress. Even Tamura just re-overtook Aiden Shepard, and now Shepard is under pressure from Figueroa, having just lost out to Ryan Reed. Bit of a breakaway out front. Hu Jian lost back out to Angrits for 3rd place, and the top 2 of Constantine and Hill, with a bit of a breathing room gap over Shrimp Angrits.
I think Angrits is closing, though.
I would have to imagine Angrits and Jian got into a bit of a battle there, and it probably cost them a bit of ground. Ryan Reed is flying right now. He just set his fastest lap of the race, which is 9th fastest of all the drivers on track. Something interesting to note is Bobby Frazier just turned the fastest lap of the weekend that time by. He just took 14th from Jake Stavenot through 1 and 2. Have they brought the Iowa setup that won him the race there to this weekend at Nazareth? Very similar lengths and tracks. Different characteristics in the corners, but the speed on entry is the same. Wow, 18th place for Scott Roush already. Up 14 positions in just 17 laps of running. Ryan Reed is having trouble with Ryan Bolden. Bolden is causing a bit of a train here. From 6th all the way back to 11th there. But he's doing well to keep those cars behind for the time being, as Constantine is not letting Logan Hill get away at all. The gap's staying stagnant, though.
Yeah, not really getting up there, but definitely not letting him rest.
Like I said in qualifying, this race is going to be an all-out brawl the whole way through. Every single lap is going to be like it's qualifying. The tires do not wear fast enough for you to have to worry about being a tenth slower per lap than everybody else. It's just a matter of keeping your tires in the right temperature. You can still overheat these things. It's just that they won't shred like cheese. As, oh, Ryan Bolden gets hit by Ryan Reed through the kink down the front straightaway. Reed getting fed up with having to wait behind the 7 car.
Here comes Tamura.
Tamura peeks underneath to try and get that spot back from her teammate, but Reed going extremely aggressive with Ryan Bolden as they head down to turn 3, unable to find a way through once more, as Kyle Bisceglia takes 10th away from Allison Figueroa, who loses multiple positions through the corner. And here comes Scott Roush in the 6. He's caught this battle up ahead now. How quickly can he progress? Reed down the inside of Bolden. Shepard down the inside of Tamura. It's all popping off in the battle for 6th place. Tamura tries to stuff the nose underneath the 7, and does! Keeps alongside, down the front straightaway. Preferred line for Bolden here around the outside to defend, but can't do anything with it. That car does not look like it's handling very happily right now. Shrimp Engritz has taken 2nd from Alex Constantine. I just saw an update on our scoring pylon.
Oh, now Hu Jian's coming in.
Hu Jian peeks underneath the 64. Has Constantine overheated his tires following the 11 as close as he was? Bolden falling like a stone. Tamura's gotten through. Shepard is now down the inside. Bisceglia, Figueroa, they're all here. Welcome to the fight, Scott Roush. He's just gotten through for 17th on teammate Jake Stavanaugh. Shoulda, coulda, woulda had a victory at Nashville. Unreal speed through the middle of the corner from the 6 car.
Bobby Frazier definitely checked up there.
Yes, he did. Shrimp Engritz looks fast and looks capable of taking the lead from Logan Hill here.
Yeah, that car looks...
What a
like
lunge
a rocket!
from
Oh my
Hu
God!
Jian! Made it stick and takes 3rd back, this time from Alex Constantine.
Yeah, really poor run into turn 3 that time.
Bolden struggling extremely hard now to even maintain 1 position. Scott Roush was unable to complete the pass on Bobby Frazier when he made that aggressive double overtake attempt. But he most certainly is going to find a way through on Ryan Bolden, who has fallen from 6th all the way to 16th now. And it's looking like there's no stopping that car dropping. Up into the top 15 now for Scott Roush. Plus 17 in 26 laps. Absolutely abysmal day for Rocket Atkinson Racing. Probably the first bad race they've had all season. Sebastian Van Dalen is their top shower right now in 35th place. Chanarong Wongsuat in 36th, and Jake Stevens in dead last. This team had struggled on the short tracks this season so far. They showed flashes of great pace, with Van Dalen contending for the victory in Memphis, but overall they just could not seem to wrap their heads around short track setups and racing over here in America, and it obviously shows they haven't fully learned it yet, as Van Dalen and Wongsuat are just under pressure from every car behind them, it feels like. And Bobby Frazier's about making as much forward progress as Scott Roush. Both of them are just on the move. Stavanaugh with an aggressive move on Ryan Bolden there for 17th place, as Scott Roush is inside of Will Hoyt and Frazier is inside of Benyako. Hu Jian has just lunged, taken 2nd place from Shrimp Engritz, and Constantine's going to try and follow through.
And he's going to do so.
It's just an absolute merry-go-round for 2nd place while Logan Hill continues to lead.
Yeah, meanwhile, I was just about to say that. Meanwhile, Logan Hill is moving.
If there's any driver that's going to have tires left, temperature-wise and grip-wise, at the very end of this run, it's going to be him. Bobby Frazier up to 12th in the 96 from Alex Bignacco, and soon Scott Roush to follow to try to get 13th. Bignacco is a home driver of this race from Pennsylvania. Wow. Big move for Scott Roush. Clears for the position up into 13th place now. As Logan Hill leads Hu Ji-yeon, Alex Constantine, and Shrimp Engritz continually, as we've now passed the 30 lap mark as we enter lap 32. Aiden Shepard under pressure from Kyle Bichelia, Allison Figueroa, and teammate Patrick Smith here. Or Bichelia's teammate Patrick Smith. Bobby Frazier is flying right now. He's caught the battle for 10th now. That has to be the Iowa car for sure. He's going to follow Patrick Smith down the inside into turn 3. And he's going to just make it work. Scott Roush, though. Bobby Frazier's fast. Scott Roush is keeping his number. Gap has closed out front. Hu Ji-yeon towards the rear of Logan Hill. Top 4 still under a complete blanket. This is the best run Hu Ji-yeon's had for the lead all day. Peeking on Hill, down the front straightaway. Can't find a nose in there. Tries it, turn 1. Tries to cut underneath the 11 on the exit. Can't find a nose in there. How about turn 3? All offense for Hu Ji-yeon, down the inside on Logan Hill.
Still together, Costin.
Side by side in front of the front straightaway. Bonus points for Hu Ji-yeon for leading that lap, and to the lead for the Season 2 champion. Here comes Alex Constantine, though, trying to go 2 for 1. Underneath Hill, underneath Ji-yeon. Gets Logan Hill alongside, cannot get alongside Hu Ji-yeon. And Engritz hammers the final nail in on the 11 to put him back to 4th. Oh, wow. Welcome, Ryan Reed. It's been just a 5-car breakaway for this entire race. We have a 6th car that's entered the fray now. Ryan Reed is fast, and he's catching everyone up ahead. Bobby Frazier has cracked the top 10 already. Him and Scott Roush are sailing up the order, but honestly, it feels like Frazier's quicker than Roush now at this point.
Yeah, he's struggling to get past Shepard here.
Hu Ji-yeon may be a series champion and all, but you know how long it's been since she won a race in this league? Season 3 was the last victory. She's never won on an oval anyways, but Season 3 was her last victory.
Can she change that? Engritz is eyeing Constantine.
Indeed.
Logan Hill's falling back.
A bit. Scott Roush on Aiden Shepard for 12th place. Still making forward progress in the 6th car. James Gibson with an aggressive move on Chris Louviere for 18th place. Ryan Bolden's day continues to get worse. He falls to 24th, getting passed by Dan Giroux. Hill starting to fall back from the top 3 even more now, as Hu Jian builds up a gap of almost 0.8 of a second now. Scott Roush on Patrick Smith for 11th place. Bobby Frazier on Allison Figueroa for 9th. These two are still continuing to mow their way through the field. Wow, that's 96 car. It just does everything he wants it to. Ryan Reed for 5th on Cale Teskar Jr.
Yeah, Reed is continuing to just fly.
Yeah, those race setups, the RRE camp, man, they are just delivering right now. Even
Stavenov is absolutely...
Stavenov is making slow progress, but he's still making progress.
Yeah, just what I was saying, Xi'an has been flying now that she's free, over a second.
Yeah, 1.1 seconds now for the Season 2 champ. She's shown speed on the short tracks the last few seasons. It just hasn't added up to anything in the end. Nashville's Fairgrounds has shown to be one of her best tracks on an oval, but I guess short tracks are short tracks for the most part.
It is early on in the goings. We are going to have a pit stop. So,
there will be a green flag pit cycle in this race. Yep.
Well, may not be green, but...
Well, if it stays green the whole way, there will be one pit cycle. It's not going to be a two-stopper like we've seen in some races this season.
Yeah. Considering it is a bit spread out, there may not be an incident until at least the pit cycle, but it's entirely possible that one of these engines could crap out, or a tire.
Speaking of crapping out, Logan Hill's car has completely given up on him. That long run pace is just not there as Ryan Reed attacks him for the 4th position down the inside into turn 3.
Yeah, either that or it was supposed to be a clean air car.
Maybe. Scott Roush has taken 11th place now from Patrick Smith, who has lost out to Aiden Shepard and maybe Jeff McLennan. Jake Stavenov's cracked the top 15, and Bobby Frazier has caught Kyle Bichelia for the 8th position. Man, Hu Jian's pace has fallen off a cliff the last couple laps. He's lost nearly 0.8 over the last 2 laps. Was she just trying to push out as many qualifying laps in a row as she could to build the gap? Because it looks like it's caught up to her now. 0.7 of a second. Ryan Reed is the fastest car in the top 5 by 1/10 of a second that time by. Bobby Frazier is still trying to make inroads on Kyle Bichelia, but cannot find a way through on the 27. Lap traffic approaching soon. And it's almost about to be all 3 Rocket Atkinson cars. Wong Sawat has gotten past Van Dalen, but there's only Fabio Vitabassa and Mitchell Carter between all 3 of them being the bottom 3 positions or not right now. There's race leader Hu Jian. The gap has shrunk now to 0.6 of a second. 6.5 tenths.
And that's without the lap traffic.
Yep. Now we'll have to see another skill set of short track racing, which is traffic management. Hu Jian was a 0.5 second quicker than Alex Constantine last time by. I think she just took a couple laps to cool her tires down and then went after it again, because that car is just flying at the moment. A 28.0 is unheard of this far into the run.
Either that or Constantine overheated them.
Nobody else is running quicker than a 28.3 right now. It was a great lap. Immediately back to a 28.6, but starting to feel some of that dirty air from the lap traffic ahead, and Jake Stevens first off. She's not wasting any time, though. She immediately peaks underneath the 18 exit of turn 2, but has to check up because it was a bad timing on her part to try and make a move there.
That's just bringing second place closer.
It will, it will. She's going to have to get a move on here. There's tons of battles for position right in front of her as well, so she's going to have to pick her battles wisely. Figure out...
Rachel Carter going for...
Yep, she's going to make the move on Stevens right here as he tries to peek to the outside of Carter. That's perfect timing. Gian gets underneath the 18 and will clear on the exit of 2. This cluster of cars is menacing for these leaders. Constantine sneaks underneath the 18. Carter tries to cut across the nose of the race leader to stay on the lead lap. Can't quite keep ahead. They're nearly 3 wide up ahead. 4 position right in front of our race leader. It's all absolute chaos here at the back of the field, right in front of our race leaders. The top 4 are converging on one another right now as Engritz and Ryan Reed now approaches the lead. Gian doesn't really know where to go. Traffic in the way. Engritz dives underneath Constantine, nearly gets to the inside of Hu Jian as well. It is so touch and go with the traffic right now. That's points leader Sean Angel in 37th place. And if it wasn't for the fact that Chris Dodd is also back here with him, he'd be losing that points lead for sure right now. And the leaders are doing an excellent job at clearing traffic, actually. I was not expecting how well that they're managing to navigate them. We've seen traffic be really difficult to deal with in previous races this season, so I think that is a vast improvement from some of the previous races we've seen. I think Sean Angel, attempting to get Sebastian Van Dalen, is inadvertently holding up his own teammate who's trying to chase down the leader and puts him vulnerable. Angel gets Van Dalen, but at the cost of Engritz losing out to Constantine possibly down the front straightaway.
But Engritz is going to have a...
If he can't clear, though, he's in trouble. Oh! He almost did. Could not clear the 64. Gets caught, but pinned behind the 81 of Sebastian Van Dalen. And now Constantine should clear back for second place into turn 3. Yes, he will. Huge gap for Hu Jian now, who is about to lap Ryan Bolden, who was at one point in 6th place to start this race.
Oh my, yeah, what happened?
I mean, you saw it. His car started to fall off as soon as we hit about 9 laps into the race, and it just has not gotten any better. Sean Angel is trying to unlap himself from the race leader. He's cleared past all of the other cars the leader has lapped now, and has gotten back up to the bumper of leader Hu Jian. Interesting to see that. Logan Hill and Cale Teskar Jr. have been brought back into this range of about a second and a half between them and the leaders. And Yuki Tamura has now approached on this battle off of turn 2 as Bobby Frazier has cleared Kyle Bisceglia at long last for 8th place, and Scott Roush is looking for 10th on Allison Figueroa as we speak. Engritz on Constantine to try to get second place back.
Yeah, and he's going to get that.
He will. Nothing Constantine can do on the outside of the corner there. Has to concede to the 59, but make sure not to lose a second position to Ryan Reed here. And there is Bobby Frazier. He's caught the back of the field, but the back of the lappers. He's now with Yuki Tamura.
Oh, but now
Bisceglia thinks about it, but will not have the momentum on the exit, as Yuki Tamura is being absolutely hounded by lapped cars. Bisceglia finds a way down the inside of Frazier at the last second through 1 and 2. Oh, and a problem. Logan Hill in the 11, your pole sitter.
No.
Down a tire. Right at the halfway point of the race, but it was crucially at the pit entrance. He was right at pit entry. when he blew the tire. This is now going to be his scheduled green flag stop. His unscheduled but scheduled green flag stop. There was no way he was intending to come in this early. So yes, this is going to play a factor in how the rest of his race is going to go, but it is not going to ruin him. It is only a tire failure, and it only happened on the exit of turn 2. It did not happen past the pit entry. That was the luckiest tire failure you can have on a racetrack.
But how much damage did that cause?
Unknown. We'll have to find out and see if he can... Now he'll have fresh tires, but the downside of having fresh tires and pitting this early on a short track, nobody else does. You got to clear the traffic yourself and make the moves yourself.
And that has been proven pretty hard unless it's turn 3.
Turn 3 has been the biggest overtaking zone as Ryan Reed has cleared Alex Constantine for the 3rd position. Hujian with a 2.1 second lead now out front. I need to keep an eye on Logan Hill here, see what is the grip difference between new and old tires. He's going to take about a lap and a half to 2 laps to get those tires fully up to temp and matched with the cars around him, but it looks like it's already gone. The rocket ship has begun, and we'll start to see the lap time differences. Yeah, not fully up to temp yet there, but even with it not being up to temp, the fresh tires are already making difference. He's matching the lap times of the cars around him.
Yeah.
Nearly 10 miles an hour faster on corner exit of turn 2 there than Will Hoyt. There is a non-zero chance this ends up working out for him, actually, in the end. But he's going to have to work overtime to get through all of these cars ahead of him and manage to gain that advantage still from the fresh tires. He will probably be the leader once the rest of the field pits for their green flag stops, but he will be on older tires and being hunted down every lap of the final whatever amount of laps there is. Chris Dodd,
Yeah.
2nd in the championship. Sean Angel's already gone a lap down, their point leader. 2nd in the championship. Chris Dodd is now a lap down.
Well, not exactly yet. Okay, yeah.
Man, it just doesn't get much worse if you're a title contender coming into this race.
Speaking of Curtis.
DJ Curtis down the inside. Your Pulse Sitter back at Lime Rock Park last week. And you could almost argue he coulda, shoulda, woulda won that race by a lap. He was so fast at the first half. But that contact in the pits that gave him that damage that ultimately made him fall all the way to 10th place by the end. Scott Roush on the offense, nearly going 3 wide with Bobby Frazier. The two absolute demons of this race have converged on one another now and are battling for 8th.
Constantine also got passed for 3rd by Ingratz.
Logan Hill, there's the difficulty with the traffic here. It took him a lap and a half to clear Chris Louviere with 60 lap fresher tires. It's a conundrum. You've got way fresher tires. You're going to have miles more grip in every aspect. But you still got to set these passes up and make them.
Yeah, and I mean, with the caliber of drivers, no pass is going to come easy.
Not at all. Yuki Tamura's cracked the top 5 for the first time today. Did not notice that up to this point. So Logan Hill is 1 lap down to the field. He only lost a lap and a half from that tire issue. He is approaching, catching back up to Jake Stevens to make a pass for position to be not last placed in this race. Hill is putting himself into position to definitely be the race leader come pit stop time for the rest of the field, but it's how much of a bubble he can build now for when his tires fall off later in the race, as Hujian just lapped teammate Ray Takada in the 50. Wow, holy moly. Aggressive. The only title contender in this race, as we have an engine failure, a massive engine failure for Elijah Innes. That's going to be a caution for sure.
Yeah, no choice.
Yellow is out down the front straightaway as Innes comes to a stop on the grass near the pit exit, and that is going to completely ruin Logan Hill's race. Game over.
Yeah.
He needed it to stay green until the green flag pit cycle. It did not. Caution is out at Nazareth. Hujian takes the caution as we're just about to crack 50 laps to go. But the engine failure by Elijah Innes to put him out of the race is going to throw all of the strategy out the window here and basically force the entire field to all pit at once. 26 cars are on the lead lap. It will be a 26-car pit lane, and look at the advantage you get from being that far ahead.
Yeah. And all the lappers are holding off.
Oh, caution.
They're just going to make the
engine failure for Elijah Innes at the exit of the pits. Brought out our caution. Logan Hill pitting due to a flat tire. He was going to be the race leader if it stayed green till the green flag pit cycle. We'll never know how that would have played out. You just got to feel for him. As we have 12 lap down cars that will be coming in next time around. Hujian easily keeps the lead. There's Ryan Reed approaching. Wow. Angritz will come out in second place. Ryan Reed third. Constantine in fourth. Teskar gets back up into the top five. Then it's Tamura. Yeah. Jeff McLennan with a absolutely flying pit stop in the 87 to come out of the pits in seventh. Then Frazier, Stavanoff, Figueroa, your top 10.
Roush just outside the top 10.
Yep.
I mean, it's an incredibly impressive run from 32nd.
All of these drivers at the tail end of the lead lap that were within the same breath as Hujian at the moment of caution are going to be thanking their lucky stars. That caution came out to keep them on the lead lap here. Looks like we've got some position disputes going on. Daniel Giroux overtaking Tristan Wilhoit on the track. Trying to figure out who was where exiting the pits. And a fuel system failure for the 83 of Chris Louviere.
Oh no.
It's another Maverick Motorsports mechanical failure. I cannot believe it. It's happened again. Race 11. I feel like we're approaching double-digit mechanical failures for this team this season if we haven't already hit it.
It has to be at this point.
What?
A fuel system failure is going to put a 13th place run down the toilet for Chris Louviere. He'll likely still stay on the lead lap in 26th place if it's not terminal. But
I don't know. Fuel system is
that's a big one.
If
it's something that's more crucial to the system, then it's going to take a while, and it could ultimately put him out of the race. But with the caution speeds around here, it's probably not going to necessarily put him a lap down if it's anything shorter than about a minute of repairs. Unbelievable. You run out of adjectives at this point, and you just have to start reusing them from the trash can. Logan Hill stayed out under that caution. He will get the wave around to go back onto the lead lap. 46-second pit stop for Chris Louviere, just in time to get back out on the lead lap in the 27th position. I believe it'll actually be 26th. He will have to... I think Logan Hill will have to wait for him. Lapped cars will line up on the inside for this restart.
That is... And considering how important the inside is, this is going to be very important.
This is going to be
Very
just like
important.
Memphis. This is going to be just like Memphis. You're going to want to have to get down to the bottom as quick as possible if you're a lead lapper. Hu Jian chasing a first win in nearly 3 seasons' time. 4 seasons' time. The only driver with a winless drought going back longer than that is Brandon Krasta in the 63. Both season champions and both still looking for another race victory in their careers. Hu Jian takes the restart. Teammate Ray Takeda does not give Hu Jian any sort of a hassle on the inside lane and lets her teammate in line.
I don't know if that's team orders or she's just slow.
I don't know if she's necessarily slow. I think that was sort of like I didn't nail the restart. I might as well just suck it up and let my teammate in line. 3 wide exit of turn 4. Yuki Tamura, Cale Teskar Jr., the lapper of Chris Dodd. They make contact through the kink on the front straightaway. Somehow get away without a crash, but we're not done with the 3 wide action. Finally, Teskar clears out of all 3 of them. And on the exit, will keep the 5th position. Absolute, unadulterated chaos on this restart as the lappers and lead lappers merge into one blob throughout the entire field. And everybody tries to find where their feet are at. Oh yeah, it was absolutely team orders between the 2 Crescent Enterprise cars. Takeda right up to speed with teammate Hu Jian. Engritz on Reed for 2nd place. Too far back. Reed keeps it for now. Constantine is in 4th. And Tescar's in 5th.
Definitely with a better car than before.
Looking like it. Logan Hill's going to have about 15 lap older tires than the rest of the field. But he is back on the lead lap nonetheless. But tough break for your pole sitter. Man, Chris Louviere is going to be ruining that moment under caution. He's already back up into the top 20. Absolutely flying. He's 19th now. But no way to show what speed they had put on that car in the setups, on the adjustments under caution. Bobby Frazier takes it 3 wide down the inside. Jake Stavanaugh, Jeff McLennan on the exit at turn 2. McLennan has to completely back out of it. That was the smartest decision of them all. 3 wide around here is where the trouble starts to happen as Tristan Wilhoit pulls the double pass to get into the top 10 ahead of Jake Stavanaugh and Jeff McLennan, his teammate. I wonder if Ray Takeda is going to come up here and try and unlap herself, try to get back on the lead lap, and I wonder if Hu Jian's even going to fight it very hard. If that 50 turns out to be the faster car, it would be in their best interest to swap around. But it doesn't look to be so. Hu Jian is flying. Scott Roush up to 7th. That pit stop being the great equalizer, putting some of these drivers that were further down the order time-wise, not necessarily position-wise, but time-wise, back up into the mix. Engritz is going to finally get 2nd back from Ryan Reed with 40 laps to go. 40 laps is a long way to go. Even though it's a short track, it's a long way to go. Look at Bobby Frazier. Under pressure from Tristan Wilhoit, of all people. Last race winner at Lime Rock Park, Arnie Nugroho. Up into the 13th position. Takes 12th from Stavina. Man, he's coming to his own the last couple weeks. But this is really the first time we've seen him show on an oval so far, other than his qualifying run in the rookie shootout. Reed is not letting Engertz get away, though. Hu Jian just turned almost her fastest lap of the entire race last time by. I don't know. It's just like, it's like that. It's like tire wear does not affect that car. It's crazy.
Yeah, did not skip a beat on that setup.
I almost wonder if she told the crew, if you touch that, you're all fired. If you touch this car, you're all fired.
That would be in character.
She goes even quicker.
Almost up to the best lap she's run all race. It's entirely possible she resets it.
At the speed she's running, absolutely. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Fastest
oh
lap
my.
of the race. Fastest lap of the weekend. Hu Jian has unlocked a new level of pace out front with 35 laps to go.
Has anyone else gone below a 27.8?
Only one other, and it was Jake Stavinaugh earlier in the race.
Even then, barely.
I don't believe what I'm seeing. That lap would have still beat her best lap of the race. And Engertz is not running slow. He's doing 27.9s, but it's not even close right now.
That 49 is just on another level.
Battle for ninth. There's Wilhoit versus Bobby Frazier. Wilhoit taking that ninth spot away. Frazier's car seeming to fade. Possibly a bad adjustment on the 96. Wow! Bisceglia absolutely scared him out of the corner. Somehow, some way out of all of that, Chris Louviere has only ended up losing 5 positions. He's in 18th place now after restarting 27th. Ryan Reed dealing with the lapped car of Mitchell Mark.
Oh, Teskar is going for Constantine for 4th.
There he is. Teskar, inside move on the 64, who looks to be struggling as this run goes on the second half of the race.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they had a very good adjustments.
Figueroa down the inside for 5th. And Mitchell Carter has suffered a brake failure down the front straightaway. And that's going to bring out the caution with 30 laps to go.
This is going to be interesting now.
Now what do you do?
Oh, and Jian got out ahead.
Hu Jian has been waved past the pace car to go finish the lap that she started. Bit of damage on the 69 car there. I almost wonder if that was from contact at some point. It looks like it was there for a while.
Yeah, but I don't think that was the... Oh, it was during
pit road collision. Pit road collision.
Yeah, it was during
but that
pit road.
Ultimately did not cause the issues that the 69 had that forced him to cause this yellow, but a very quick turnaround to get back out onto the racetrack. But 3 laps down is still basically a race ender for the Bendover Racing Squad as Hu Jian takes the caution flag, still in the lead.
Doesn't look like anyone's going to the pits.
Why would you? Tire fall off's not big enough.
That is very true.
I mean, they didn't even change the tires on the 69 car as he's coming around.
Carter!
I think technically Carter hasn't taken the yellow yet, and so he is currently coming around. Or maybe that was just him coming in way too hot and not realizing how fast he was coming in there.
Seems to not be very happy with the max here.
I think he's disputing position. I think he really just doesn't know where he's supposed to be in this order. I think his spotter has told him, I don't know what you're doing, but you're not supposed to have passed anyone. And he's put back into line behind the rest of the field. And Hu Jian was so fast in that entire run. That advantage has been absolutely destroyed. There's nothing left of it. You can't even tell that she was breaking fastest lap after fastest lap.
But at the same time, with how good that car was, isn't really going to matter.
Well, we'll just have to find out, really, because it could be a case where she was pushing so hard that it could come back to bite her. We don't know what the comfort level was. We don't know if it was a comfortable fast or if it was a pushing like hell fast.
I mean, all these tires are going to now have a heat cycle in them.
Crescent Enterprises have had a stranglehold on this race ever since Hu Jian took the first caution, having a buffer of a second car in between herself and her and second place Shrimp Angrets. That is a very, very important distinction there for Crescent to have. Ray Takeda came painfully close to winning at Watkins Glen, coming 2 laps short of the victory to rookie Allison Figueroa. And now she's going to have to play a supporting role in helping her teammates secure her first victory in nearly 4 years. As the pace car brings us around 2 more times, we will restart on lap 102 of 125 for a 24-lap sprint to the finish. Hu Jian leads at Nazareth. We'll be back for the restart. Pace car pulls in. Hu Jian on the outside. Mitchell Carter on the inside. The only driver multiple laps down in this field. We're back underway here at Nazareth. And I think Carter might end up breaking that Crescent Enterprises stranglehold on the front of the field. But it may not matter as Ryan Reed cuts underneath. 3 wide off of turn number 2. With Shrimp Angrets and Ray Takeda on the exit. They're leaning on each other exit turn 2. Reed firing it down the inside into turn 3. Nearly contact between all 3 of them. And Ryan Reed takes second place as we come to 23 to go. Well, there goes that breathing bubble for Hu Jian. No more gap between herself and the rest of the leaders behind her. It's now...
At the same time, Carter is going to be a nuisance with those slightly fresher tires.
Oh, they didn't change any tires on him. They didn't change any tires. Those are the same ones they had on. It's now going to be whether or not the pace during that last green flag stretch was the real pace of that 49, or if that was just her pushing to her absolute maximum to try and build a gap. Carter looks quick. He does not have fresh tires on that car. They only came in and repaired the damage. But he just set his fastest lap of the race last time by. Jian does not look fast. 0.3 of a second slower than Ryan Reed last time by. Maybe it was. Maybe it was just her pushing extremely hard on that last restart to try and build a gap and hope for no caution. But she brings it back down to a 28-0 the next time by and equalizes with the cars behind. So maybe just a bad lap. We'll have to find out. There is still 20 more laps to decide what's going to happen in this race.
Reed is already up there.
Gap goes from 7.5 tenths down to half a second. Another quarter second chipped off.
But he is going to have to deal with Mitchell Carter.
Yeah, but I know as this run goes on, Carter might become easier to deal with. We'll just have to wait and see, though. Tristan Wilhoit's climbed up into the 7th position. Scott Roush under pressure from Bobby Frazier for that 9th spot. It's all kicking off in the midfield. Chris Louviere's gotten up to 16th now. You'd almost didn't even know he had a mechanical failure under that caution.
Yeah, and you mentioned Wilhoit. I saw that earlier. He's not been being very loud, but he has been quietly having a pretty good run.
Yes, he has. 17 laps to go. Oh, look at this absolute Roush Racing Enterprises dog pile. Scott Roush, Yuki Tamura, and Jake Stavanon. It looks like Roush might be under pressure from his own teammates.
It seems like Frazier's kind of holding them up now.
Almost. Frazier made the move on Roush, but now they've all kind of bunched up together behind the 96. The gap has stagnated at about a half a second to 6 tenths between Ryan Reed and Hu Jian, but the gap between Hu Jian and Mitchell Carter is growing, which means that the common denominator here is that Carter is just slower than the rest of these guys out front.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Reed has to get past Carter quickly if he wants any shot of this win.
Same with Engritz. It goes for both of them.
Yeah, I feel like only one of them is going to get that shot before it's too late, if either.
Now, Reed is giving it his best go here. Kind of overshoots the entry to turn 3, though. But
And
look at the gap now.
Yeah,
28-0.
I think this might... I think Gian might be out of reach right now.
We've now hit the point in which if a caution comes out from here on out, it will be a single file restart. Hu Jian, the leader, coming to 13 laps to go at Nazareth.
Yeah, they need to get past Carter and then a caution come out.
27-9 for Hu Jian. I think she was just saving her stuff. She's gone into full push now. Build the gap while you still can. There's not much time left for it to get taken away. Carter still in the way. Engritz attacking Reed. Unable to find a way through.
I think Engritz is kind of realizing this is a battle for second now.
12 laps to go. The gap, 8 tenths of a second. Constantine falling back even further. The adjustments they made during that first pit stop cycle have not worked out.
Yeah. I mean, they're considering how the last few races have gone for...
Terrible lap for Gian.
Oh, yeah.
Engine failure, Chris Louviere! Another
Oh,
Maverick
no.
mechanical issue, and it's the same car with the fuel system issue from earlier. He had climbed back up almost into the top 15 from that issue, and it's finally nail in the coffin for the 83.
Yep, turns out that problem was probably something far more sinister than what we originally thought.
Ji-Yeon is struggling. Has she put too much heat into her tires? The 69 car is caught up to the back of the 49.
I can't even really get overtly angry because what am I even supposed to say at this point?
Hi.
It's gonna be 8 laps to go. Can Hu Ji-Yeon score a first victory in nearly 4 seasons of WTSS since her last? Through 1 and 2, Hu Ji-Yeon needs to keep ahead of Mitchell Carter. Ryan Reed sends it down the inside, shuffles the 69 up the bottom. Lap traffic will no longer be in the way if he can find a way through.
Yeah, GTAB, bro.
But he needs to clear quickly because every second he's focusing on this is another second that Ji-Yeon can use to pull a gap.
He needs to do it now. He needs to get under the inside into 3 and finally fully make that move. He does. Reed underneath clears. He's got 6 laps to make something happen. 6 laps to catch Hu Ji-Yeon and try to make something happen.
But now it's back to probably over a second.
Oh! Ray Takeda playing rear gunner for teammate Hu Ji-Yeon. Shuffles the 59 up the racetrack.
Was there contact?
Almost!
It looked like contact.
It wouldn't be the first time Ray Takeda's played rear gunner to Hu Ji-Yeon in WTSS history. It wouldn't even be the second or third. These two have been intertwined in many battles when one was on the lead lap and one was a lap down.
2 tenths. 2 tenths taken out.
2 tenths.
5 laps to go. That is enough.
At 2 tenths a lap, it would be enough. But only then. You cannot bobble even once.
And it also doesn't take into account that you have to pass.
The old saying, it's one thing to catch, it's another to pass. Cross the line this time. I think it's about the same. Yeah, it's only a half a tenth gain.
Yep.
4 to go. Reed's got to kick in whatever he's got left in the afterburners. He's got to find it. Harness it. And dig deep. He's closing. It's visually closer.
What's the gap here?
3
less than
and a half
4
tenths. With 3 to go. It's realistically a shot now at this point. Ryan Reed has a chance. Has Hu Ji-Yeon been saving her stuff, though? Is there one last push she's going to give? Or is that all she's got and she's going to have to defend with her life? It's marginally closer this lap. It's not as much of a gain, but it is still a gain. Ah, it's about breaking even that lap. Hu Ji-Yeon is doing everything she can to try and keep the 90 away. Great 1 and 2 from the 49. Here. That was an excellent 1 and 2 from the 49. She's got to do that again one more time. White flag in the air this time for the 49 of Hu Ji-Yeon. 1 lap to go at Nazareth. She's just got to stay composed for one more tour of this short track. Ryan Reed is throwing everything he's got to try and get his 2nd win of the season. He's up to the bumper of the 49. If he gets a run off of 2, he could have a chance into 3. Oh. Ryan Reed, this would be one of the furthest lunges of the entire race if he had a chance at it. Into 3 and 4. Not close enough. One more lap, he would have had a shot. And for the first time in nearly 4 years, Season 2 champion Hu Ji-Yeon wins in the WTSS at Nazareth.
Yay!
Well, good for her.
Her first ever oval victory in WTSS. Her first under the Crescent Enterprise team name.
And another in a long line of winners that you wouldn't really expect to see.
The short track names showed up, and finally, one of the short track names that had been looking for that first victory on these small ovals, Hu Ji-yeon, scoring the victory, barely holding off a hungry Ryan Reed in the dying stages of this race. Shrimp Engritz, Allison Figueroa, Cale Teskar Jr., the top 5, Will Hoyt, Bisceglia, Roush, Constantine, and Frazier, the top 10, Stavenot, Tamura, Voiles, Giroux, and Benyako, your top 15. Great day for Dietrich Van Dalen, great recovery. The rest of your running order is as follows. 2 mechanical failure DNFs for Chris Louviere and Elijah Innes, with Mitchell Carter finishing 3 laps down, third to last, the last car running. It was a day of many drivers at the front of the field cycling the lead constantly. It didn't seem like there was one driver in specific who had an advantage at any given point up until the last half of the race. But in the end, Ji-yeon Hu prevails, having had an absolutely wicked car for the latter half of this race. Reed gave it everything he had, every single ounce of what he had left. And if he had cleared the traffic 1 lap sooner, I think he could have gotten it. Congratulations to Hu Ji-yeon, your winner at Nazareth. We'll see you next week for race number 12 at North Wilkesboro.